Hey there, it's Amanda. I am baking a cookie recipe from Sicily, My Sweet, which is by Victoria Granof. And Victoria has written a couple of books, but she's actually also really well known in the industry as a food stylist who has an amazing talent. I've worked with her over many years and love her to death, and I wanted to try out a recipe from her new book. And so we're doing little almond and cherry cookies, these little guys right here. And I don't have the right pastry tip to make mine look like that, so we're gonna have to wing it a little bit, but here we go. So the first thing I do is immediately lose my page. Where was I? All right, so what we do is we're mixing a bunch of things, including almond flour. Yeah, almond flour, 2½ cups, into a bowl. I wish I could say I was a baker who weighed things, because that's what you're supposed to do, and I've worked in lots of restaurants and bakeries where that's what you do. But somehow, I don't know, it's just ingrained in me to use measuring cups. This is for like icing cakes and such, but I actually like it for this purpose. I'm getting to use one of my favorite ingredients, which are these Luxardo maraschino cherries. I don't know about you, but I grew up on the ones that are like fluorescent red and probably have, you know, toxic dyes in them, but I used to love sneaking them out of the fridge as a snack. Well, that was not efficient. Now we're gonna add sugar, 3/4 cup, and then honey, 2 tablespoons of honey. Now we've got egg whites. I've got to separate the eggs. Oop. Okay, you shouldn't do this technically. You should do this over another bowl so that if the yolk breaks, it doesn't go into your cookie. But you know, I like to live on the edge. Literally. Okay, this is actually breaking. Okay, get in there. No, oops, crap. Am I allowed to curse in this? Oh, sugar, as my mom used to say. It's gonna be a little extra protein in there. I am failing cooking school right now. And then how much? Teaspoon of almond extract. And how much salt? 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of, so if you've got it 1/4 teaspoon measure the salt first so that while the spoon is dry, and then essentially rinse it out with the almond extract. Oop, oop, well, they're gonna be very almondy now. All right, so now I'm just gonna mix this up. I don't know why it's making me feel like this is the complete section, so I'm just putting them over there, out of sight, out of mind. It says, yeah, mix it with a wooden spoon until a sticky dough forms. All right, so I'm using one of our 5-2 spoons. This is the corner getter, and it's made for lefties, because I'm a lefty. Okay. So this is a sticky, I'm supposed to do this until it's a sticky dough. All right, so I'm gonna dig out the cookie press that I've got. This looks a little dated now, doesn't it? I think I got this from my mom. Fancy cake and pastry decorating set, never used. Okay, that does not have the right size tip, so bye-bye. This one is, look at that, made in Sweden. All right, so it needs a star disc. Have you used a cookie press before? I don't even know where I got it. It's like my mom probably gave it to me, but I'm not sure. Or maybe my grandmother. Okay, so I'm supposed to put the dough in here. You're really getting to see me sweating bullets here because don't know what I'm doing. But okay. So normally you would use a pastry bag with a 3/4 inch star tip, which I do not own. So but I happen to have one of these, and if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna shape the cookies on the baking sheet, and we're gonna be fine. This is called a cookie press. And it's a tool that's actually super popular in, I think, European baking, but just doesn't really get used that much here. Although I bet Nia knows all about this and probably uses it. And we sell one, and it's actually been a really strong seller. Okay, the baking sheet's supposed to be cold, but it doesn't matter. You know, there's no fat in this, so it doesn't really matter. I think at some point, the dough will get compressed and start pressing out. That's oh, now it's something's happening. Oh! All right, it kind of worked. These are not gonna win prizes, but I think they're gonna taste good. They're supposed to come right off, but these aren't, I don't know why, but we're just gonna accept that. That's our fate. Now this is way too much fun for a Monday morning. Okay, we're just gonna get one baking sheet going and play that out. How's that sound? Whew. Okay, so now we're gonna put those up here, and then, oh yeah, we are going to spoon out the maraschino cherries. So I'm just gonna do 15. You're supposed to pat them off. I don't think you really need to, because the syrup in these, unlike kind of the bright red ones, is so thick. So these rings are supposed to be an inch and a half in diameter. This is about an inch and a half, so I think we're good. Okay, leave a thumb width between each one. All right. These are directions I was supposed to read before I actually went ahead, but I didn't. Okay, press a cherry into the center and then bake for 10 to 12 minutes. Boom. All right. It's gonna be like a high cherry to cookie ratio here. Boom. That is highly satisfying. You know, thumbprint cookies, I always like eating, but I don't really like making them. I don't like, there's something about having to like fill each thumbprint. Whereas this feels like, you know, you're just like quicker, more satisfying. And also, wait, okay, I totally don't know how to count. Oh, I was thinking 4 by 4, but it's 4 by 3. There we go. Okay, well, we have extra cherry snacks. Okay, so now I think I'm just gonna stick them in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. I might flip them after 5. I always, with cookies, I like to rotate them 180 degrees halfway through baking. These bake at a pretty high temperature, 375. And they're a little, I think they're a little on the small side, so I'm actually gonna do 4 minutes for my first. So the reason I rotate them is that a lot of ovens, especially gas ovens, the heat comes up from the back, so the back of the oven tends to be hotter. And also the front of the oven, in any oven, whether it's electric or gas, tends to be cooler because you're opening the door there. And so, I mean, these are slight things, but it just helps your baked goods bake more evenly. Like if you're baking a pie, you don't, like, it'll be like ombre. It'll be like dark on one side and get like lighter on the other. Alrighty, so we've got, I moved them to the top shelf so that they would get some of the heat from the top of the oven and brown on top. So there we go. All right, so we're gonna let them cool a little bit and then we're gonna taste them. I know you guys are filming, but I've got my own filming to do too, you know. I would normally pick this up and just bite into it, but it's really hot, so I'm just being a little extra cautious. So it's be a little chewy. The almond flour is like, it's nice and chewy, but it's also like not totally smooth, so it has a little bit of pebbliness to it. And it's like a little bit like a macaroon. It's got that kind of candied, kind of chewy quality to it. Thank you, Victoria. Also check out our book with the coolest cover, right? These are so good. You have to make these. It's well worth your time. It's well worth your 15 minutes because that's about all it took.